alongside Teddy Atlas. Good evening and welcome to the Mexico City Plaza here in Mexico City for tonight's main event. This should be a really good matchup here tonight. All that energy that we saw, it almost boiled over at the weigh-in yesterday. Now it gets to explode here in the ring. Gets rid of that body shot. Teddy, through the history of the sport, this is one of the matchups that has produced some of the more interesting fights, especially in the lower weight classes, speed versus speed.
Who's going to be the guy that uses speed better? Who's going to be able to time shots and control range? That's what I'm looking at.
Dismisses his opponent's headshot. Not able to land the uppercut. Missed that uppercut. De La Hoya's defense. Is it ever good? Look at how easy he's able to block those punches. Sound defense. Good block that time by the golden boy, Oscar De La Hoya. And coming upon the halfway mark of this 3-minute round. Good block by De La Hoya.
Good job!
The golden boy has always had a great hook, and he shows it off there. Hurt by a big shot. Good defense, just covering up down low. And you can see he wanted to do that as he holds on there. The golden boy with a jab.
Keep moving. Gotta see those coming.
Way to block there. Just 10 seconds to go in this round.
Some of that too. Let's go.
This round comes to an end. A round in which this fighter threw a lot of punches, didn't land a lot of punches. I'll tell you, what advice can you give to him if you're the trainer?
Well, first of all, deal with the psychological part. Joe, don't forget, 75% of this game is psychological. Don't let him get discouraged, because even though he's not going to say nothing, in his head, he's starting to get discouraged. Just say to him, hey, listen, you're going to catch him. Let's shorten him up a little bit. And you know what? He's moving his head, so go to the body. Because now you're going to hit him a little in the body, because the body's not moving.
De La Hoya's at his best when the combinations are landing. He scored well there with that combo. Not what he was looking for. That's a miss right there by Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya is very proud of his Mexican-American heritage. He comes from East LA, but yet there was always a struggle at certain stages of his career to align with that demographic, compared to how easily Fernando Vargas, a Southern California rival, had it with that audience.
I think he felt like, and he still feels that way, and to a certain extent that drives him on. He sort of had to earn their respect, and he didn't get their respect so much. He felt like an outsider who was trying to prove that he was Mexican. You know, And in a lot of ways, people said, you know, he didn't fight Mexican enough. You know, he didn't look like a guy, you know, a Mexican warrior. You know, this was the golden boy. And he was always trying to prove that he was more than just that. And in some ways, that has been the fire that has been with him.
Blocks that belt line well. That's great stuff. He fires one right back after taking one. Gotta love the work by Oscar De La Hoya. De La Hoya's well off the mark that time.
That's okay. Let's go.
Oh, that uppercut got him badly.
Wake up.
His opponent wanted the body. He wouldn't give it to him. Nice work doubling up that jab. Just 10 seconds to go here in the second round.
You're letting this guy get away.
Considering the fact that in the last round he got tagged hard, he looks great right now to open up this round.
Well, I'm not shocked because I think he has character. I think there's substance to him. And the only way that you find the mettle of a person is when you test him, when you push him up against the cliff. And he's being tested now, and he's showing what he's made of.
And now just wasting away some time with that clinch. I remember watching the fight that night and thinking to myself, this is the most satisfying feeling Oscar De La Hoya has ever had, and that was when he TKO'd Fernandez.
Well, it was for a lot of reasons. First of all, because a lot of people were saying straightforwardly that Vargas was more Mexican than De La Hoya was. You know, that they embraced Vargas, but De La Hoya was too pretty. He didn't fight the way maybe they thought a Mexican fighter should fight. And by knocking out one that was embraced by the Mexican fans, I think that was extra satisfying to show, hey, am I Mexican enough for you now? Am I fighter enough for you now? I think it was a combination of all those emotions.
Halfway through this round, comes right back with a shot of his own. Unable to make an impact there by the golden boy, Oscar De La Hoya. Good defensive skill. Good step back counter punch there.
Keep working the jab. Good.
De La Hoya's opponent has to be getting a little frustrated here. Remember, he had him stunned earlier. He had him damaged a bit, but now the clinching.
Well, that's what he wants him to do, Joe. He wants to frustrate him. If he frustrates him, then he can recover a little bit. He can get him out of his game a little bit, and then maybe he can launch a comeback in the later rounds.
Last 10 seconds of round number 3. And this round comes to an end. This is a classic example we're seeing here as we start round number 4 of just the busier guy taking the fight. He's up 3 rounds to zip on Teddy's scorecard.
Yeah, my concern, though, Joe, I have one little concern.
What's
there.
that?
Well, is he winning the battles, but maybe going to lose the war because he's really wearing himself out. He's working so hard to get things done. Down the road, does he pay a price?
He's tired! He's tired! Move!
That is a big right hand after eating one himself.
There you go! Hey,
Took
keep
a
your
shot,
feet
now he
moving.
gives a left. I want to ask you your thoughts as to the strengths of Oscar De La Hoya, but I want to ask one very specific strength, and that is that he's naturally left-handed, but yet fights in an orthodox stance.
Well, that happens more often than you think. You know, a lot of times you have a guy who's naturally lefty. He wants to be a southpaw, but you figure, hey, as he starts moving forward, we don't want to have managers avoid him. We don't want to have a problem where they say we're not going to fight a southpaw, so they turn him around and they make him an orthodox fight. Sometimes it's out of ignorance, believe it or not. They don't even know that he was lefty, and they just start him in the traditional way, the way that's most conventional, in an orthodox way. But what it does serve you is that your dominant hand, your more powerful hand, is in the right position in some ways. It's in the lead position where you can jab, you can hook off it, you can be served in that way.
Not precise at all by Oscar De La Hoya.
Keep doing what you're doing!
Little double jab to the head. He just missed that shot up top. Big shot he just scored with. Oh, an explosive headshot there. He is down. So an immediate question to be answered by Oscar De La Hoya. How will he turn things around? He just got knocked down. Now he's looking to continue on.
You know, Joe, we know he has a great jab. We know he has good speed. We know that he has a great smile. Now we're going to find out exactly what kind of heart he has.
10 seconds to go in the 4th. End of the round.
Let's go.
A round in which a knockdown was scored. Now, Teddy, if you're the trainer in the corner of the guy scoring the knockdown, what are some of the things you want to remind him of?
You want to remind him how he got there, because a lot of times it's the tendency to just remember the punch that put him there. He dressed him up. He set that punch up. Don't think about just the punch that landed. Think about the setup punches.
De La Hoya's trying to get back to where he was here in this round. He was knocked down in the last round. Now, Teddy, when you're the opponent and you knock the guy down, those opening few moments of the next round, do you try to size up and kind of take into account where your opponent is? Do you look into his eyes and assess the situation?
Well, I don't know if you get close enough to look right into his eyes as the opponent, but first of all, in the corner, you better not send your fighter out if his eyes don't look clear. That's your responsibility, looking out for the fighter. But as the opponent out there, you look at his legs. If his legs look a little wobbly, you get right on him.
Oh, that's good stuff. Firing right back with one of his own. Good work by Oscar De La Hoya.
Yep.
Comes right back at him with a left hand. De La Hoya's doing what every trainer wants to see their fighter do. Land punches in bunches. The combination lands.
Guard up.
Good exchange. He fires back. Good, solid right hand lands. Oscar De La Hoya's got solid Once again, he goes down. Can he survive this? So he goes down, but able to get up to his feet. Teddy, what should he be thinking about now?
Well, right now, just surviving, but if he survives, then he better figure out why he was put on the floor.
Hoya's showing you a little defensive skill there, able to move away from that punch. Parries that punch away.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
A little give and take, and here comes the left hand. Able to get away from that headshot with the block. De La Hoya's knowledge of the game is showing through. 3 ways to defend. One of them is to block. He did it there well. Not the most accurate uppercut you'll see. So he scores a knockdown in the last round. Now he gets to settle down and gather himself a bit. Do you go after it? Do you get super aggressive here, having had your man hurt? Or do you still have to employ a certain amount of caution?
It's kind of like being at the carnival. You know, you just hit the bullseye and you got that big stuffed animal you can give to your wife or your girlfriend. But now he doesn't want you to go away with that.
Oh, no.
No. He tells you, wait a minute, try again. You could trade that in for something either bigger. But you might lose the one you have already. That's the question.
Eddie, what would you recommend based on what we're seeing here tonight?
Well, 2 aspirin and then go. Oh, no. Actually, I would say a little counterpunching would be just what the doctor ordered.
That's a better prescription for him. Oscar De La Hoya's in a bad place right now. He was tagged. There it is. Can he beat the count? I don't think so here, Teddy.
Now I know where they got that saying, falling like a sack of potatoes.
Somehow, some way, he's going to continue on here.
And if he's going to stay in this fight, now he's got to avoid his opponent like the Black Plague.
Gotta see that go in. Let's
go. And he's holding, reaching the halfway point of round number 6. One to give one. He comes back with a right hand.
Face yourself.
De La Hoya's head movement is really a factor in this fight. I mean, who would have thought it? Just one of the aspects of defense could be such a big key to this fight right now.
Yeah, it is, and his opponent right now is not making adjustments. Matter of fact, he's starting to drown himself because he's going more and more head hunting, and the more he does it, the more he misses, the more frustrated he gets, the more tired he gets. He needs to make a change. Downstairs to the place that's not moving, down to the body.
More punches!
Final 10 seconds of the 6th round.
Move your
He
head!
scores well with the double jab.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep the jab pumping and throw.
Start of the round, but Teddy, it could be the end of the fight. He's been knocked down numerous times, including the last round.
You're probably right, Joe, but when things are this is when you find out what is special inside somebody, where they can go to a place you never expect them to be able to go to. Look at Archie Moore, Yvonne Durrell, years ago. Archie Moore was over 40 years old, in there with a 20-something-year-old Durrell. He was on the floor 3 times in the first round. He found a way to come back and knock him out in the 11th. Is this another one of those nights?
Good job protecting himself.
Focus! Hey, gotta see that coming. Let's go!
Hoya sticking to what we've always known of him, Teddy. The style hasn't changed, even though he was knocked down earlier.
You know, a lot of trainers would say, hey, they pat him on the back. They say, there you go, kid. You know, stay with your identity. Just make sure that you correct a couple little things you need to correct.
Reaching the halfway mark of this round.
You're not focusing! Still not moving enough! Move! Muévate!
Straight right was lined up, but he missed.
Move your head! Muévate la cabeza!
Hoya's dealing with the aftermath of being rocked, but yet he hasn't changed anything. He's still sticking with that style.
Well, that means panic has not set in. That's a good thing, Joe. He still believes he can get this thing done the way he came here to get it done.
Able to show you his blocking ability. Hoya's showing you what it takes to be the best in this business. Good, crisp combos. We count down the final moments of this round. And the round comes to an end. You know, they call them the championship rounds for a reason, and we're not quite there yet. Just about halfway through this fight. Here, round number 8 underway, and he's up on your scorecard, Teddy, but the toughest test is yet to come.
Yeah, it's kind of like a doctor. You know, he's been working the rounds all day long, but now it becomes the night time. You know, the emergency cases are going to come in and stuff. Can he keep that concentration? Can he take care of the patients at the same level he did earlier in the day?
This is brilliant defense we're seeing here every which way. Blocking punches, moving well, parrying punches away. Oscar De La Hoya's rocked by that punch. Oh! That was a big shot that floored him, and it's a big shot that ends him right here.
That looked like the great pitcher, Great Maddox. His sinker ball. Boy, it went down quick.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And it's over. This fight is over. Oscar De La Hoya's a knockout victim. He couldn't beat the count. That's what you want to see, a guy who can close the show and finish with style. He ends up a knockout victor tonight.
And that's what his trainer wanted. His trainer was even telling him, step it up a little bit, because he knew this was possible, and they got it.
For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. Thanks for being with us, everyone.